Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The intimidation strategy by the state in dealing with dissidents is just exposing how desperate and vulnerable the ruling power seem to have gotten. And that begs the question, what exactly is that? Because I'm talking about this in respect to the latest report that NPS is issuing warrant of arrest against Samidoh over what they term as absconding duties. So in this podcast, we're going to tell you the real truth about all this and why the move to arrest Samidoh is just but an intimidation tactic. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And thank you very much for your support. We do this each and every day because of your support. Continue subscribing. Subscription is absolutely free. And as I always say, there is no money going to be deducted from your account because you subscribe to our channel. The advantage here is when we publish a video, you will be getting notifications, and so none of our videos will miss your sight. Yesterday, Dennis Itumbi led a delegation of musicians from Mount Kenya who were hosted in State House to meet President William Ruto. And even as you look at this, when we look at this video, the meeting with Kikuyu musicians happened days after the same, after the same meeting was convened by Kithure Kindiki in his current residence. And according to the president's team, this is what they shared. Of course, on this they said, they shared this. Kenya will be transformed by leaders who are prepared to take bold and decisive steps to change the lives of the people. Through bold decisions, we have made great strides in stabilizing the economy, increasing agricultural productivity, and enhancing social security for a better future. Equally, we have also made tough decisions in making affordable housing a reality and ensuring provision of universal health care. At State House, Nairobi, pleased to meet artists who apprised me of the issues affecting their sector. We agreed to work together for a better Kenya for all. Now, when you look at what has been posted by the president, it has nothing to do with a solution for the artists. And one thing I do, and one strategy that I've realized, I listened to MCAs from my county, Osia, when they visited State House, and other delegations. Whoever meets President William Ruto tells them about what the government has done. It is more about affordable housing, it is more about SHA, it is more about economy. There is more of marketing what, according to him, government has achieved than tangible and practical solutions. This meeting, I've looked at the official photo taken in that meeting, and it goes without any reasonable doubt that it had nothing to do with the musicians. I did not see a single cabinet secretary or a single PS. I was expecting to see probably the creative economy PS, our friend Fikirini Jacobs. This was just another political forum created so that the president will get to talk to musicians who he believes are going to be good ambassadors of the administration. You can see next to him is Sabina Chege, and the other one is a member of parliament from Kiambu. I don't seem to get the name right, but is it Wanjoroge? Is it Kiambu North or somewhere there? So this is what is happening, and these are the musicians that met the president in State House. This was a representation of that delegation. When you look at this photo, I told you this was a follow-up meeting after the same with Kindiki. There are some figures that were missing that skipped that meeting. And you cannot see Ben Githae, the Uhuru Tano Tena songwriter. You cannot see Githae-Gaturura, that is amongst some of the biggest artists in Mount Kenya. You cannot see Samidoh there. So the story is, these others, Samidoh, Githae-Gaturura, and Ben Githae, they were all invited for that meeting. But they skipped, and of course Samidoh is not in the country. So after skipping that meeting, and someone might ask, Kevin, why is it of significance that Ben Githae and the rest meet? If you look at, I wanted to play for you a song that, the song they did for Kindiki last time when they met Kindiki.
Tauga Kindiki ne witu tutige murekia vara. Tauga guo. Tabatia kik. Kindiki ne witu tutige murekia vara. Mutongoria mwega, mutongoria mwenyihia. Kindiki ne witu mutongoria wa kerema, mutongoria twendete. Arore kahua na arore macani. Kindiki ne witu tutige. Arore aremi aitu, arore githomo. Kindiki ne witu tutige mure. Arore maundu maitu mama mwana oini. Kindiki ne witu tutige. Haleluya, amen. Nimetunga ama sijatunga?
Kuna ngoma inaitwa Thiokiumaga Airini wa tata arometiega matiendaga kuonia. Kuna ingine Jokeria mbe te onda kugureire tondu bisa warikia kuo.
They are the people that even composed a song to praise Kindiki. So if you look at that, apart from Karangu Muraya, who was recently invited by Oscar Sudi to grace a Kapseret Economic Empowerment gig, all the other big shots from Mount Kenya region skipped that meeting. But something really worries many here, something that should worry the country is, how does the president, why is the president meeting musicians only from one region? Okay, it's not wrong to meet musicians from one region. But then, what if that is the modus operandi, that we are going to meet people based on their regions, professions, and blah blah, those groupings, then will it take the president how long to meet all the musicians from the 42 tribes in the country? And I believe the president should not be doing this. He should be meeting musicians the same way this meeting of musicians from Mount Kenya should have been graced by Kina Prince Inda, the Musa Jakadalas, and the others that we know, the Kina, the Kina Mr. Ngengo from Kisii. So it could be the Luya artist. I think that would be the platform. But just the way it is, that tells you that what that meeting is being said to be a meeting for musicians, but it's just President William Ruto's campaign rally. Now, just to confirm that it has nothing to do with music, I wanted to get a snippet of President Ruto's speech.
Housing is going to change this country. Housing is going to change this country. Na mutakuja kuniamini. Ukiona ile kazi inaendelea sahihi hapa Nairobi. Hapa Nairobi tunajenga nyumba 60,000. Kenya mzima saa hizi tumefikisha manyumba 150,000. Before the end of this year tutakuwa tumefikisha 200,000. I can account for every day of the 1,000 days. Nini imefanyika hii nchi? Kwanza nimefika hapa na nyinyi mnajua. Baada ya COVID mambo ilienda segemnege, ile inasemekana. Matatizo, dola ikapanda, kitu inaitwa inflation ilikuwa imefika pale 9.6% in 2022. Dola ndio ile ilikuwa imesukuma mpaka 167, 165. Pesa ya kigeni ile inaitwa foreign exchange ilikuwa imeteremka chini mpaka 2.5 months of import cover. I had to make very difficult decisions to stop Kenya from defaulting on its foreign obligations. But you know, the good news, friends, is that those decisions we made as a country to stop Kenya from defaulting, today we are reaping the benefit. Ile inflation ilikuwa 9.6, sasa iko 3.8. Ile dola tulikuwa naye ya foreign exchange ilikuwa between 5 and 6 billion dollars. We now have 10.3 billion dollars. IMF.
So he's meeting musicians, and the whole conversation is about affordable housing, is about SHA, is about this and this. And then that's what tells you. Now today, the National Police Service has issued a warrant of arrest against Samidoh over what they accuse him, and they're accusing him of deserting duty since 27th May, and they've also stopped his salary. I think Samidoh just needed to resign from the force, from the service. I think in music, he's making more money than what is there. He's making more money. Like his performances is giving him bigger income, a better income than the salary of being a police officer. I think him being given the role of a police officer, he was just supposed to be a brand ambassador. But how can you be a good brand ambassador of a service that is killing people in police cells? You know, remember, it's not about, it's not. How can you be a brand ambassador of such a service? And Samidoh met Kindiki last time, and with the, of course, accompanied with other artists. But, you know, Githae-Gaturura later warned those artists that the people, their support base, they should not even be invited in the clubs in Mount Kenya to perform. And even their supporters should boycott their songs to protest against the move to work with Kenya Kwanza administration.
Wasanii wetu na waibaji tumehuzunishwa sana ya kwamba wamekuwa wasaliti ya jamii. Ati wameitwa pale Karen juzi na huyu mtu anaitwa Mr. Moneybags. Ati wanaambiwa wakuje wadanganye nyinyi SHA inafanya kazi. SHA inafanya kazi. Na wakamwambia ati watakuja kuambia nyinyi. Ati watuambie barabara zinajengwa. Atuambie masomo naenda mzuri. Mimi nimeketi na wazee jana usiku. Na tumesema hawa wasanii. Wazee wameniambia nitangaze. Kwa sababu sasa pahali tumefika. Sasa lazima nitoe mwelekeo. Si ndio? Nitoki nyarute mwelekera. Hawa wasanii wameenda pale kwa huyo jamaa. Na huyo jamaa mikono yake imejaa damu ya Gen Z. Siku Gen Z Ruto amesema watoto wauawe. Yeye ndiye alikuwa CS wa Interior. Yeye ndiye alisimamia watoto wetu wakauawa. Kwa hivyo hiyo pesa mnaenda kuchukua pale iko na damu ya watoto wetu wa Gen Z. Wameenda pale wamepewa kila mtu 50,000 kuuza jamii. Atu wakuje watudanganye. Wazee wameniambia namna hii. Hao wasanii waombe msamaha. Wasipoomba msamaha tuwache kusikiza nyimbo zao. Number 2, zile entertainment joint wanaenda wasiitwe huko tena. Na wewe kama ni mwenye club ukiita huyo mtu, customers wahame waende pahali ingine. tena ile mtandao, you unfollow them.
So these things have been going on, and it didn't augur well with the state. So where did the rain start beating Samidoh? But is it a good, what is the objective of arresting? Sometimes we are very predictable. Sometimes the state is very predictable until you even feel like they lack the creativity. Samidoh at one point was performing in a joint, and he performed a one-time song. He was on a joint in Mount Kenya. He performed this song, and after that, he was summoned because as an officer, he needed to align with the government. He needed to support the government agenda, or rather he needed to support government. But after that, after the summon, they met even Kindiki. He was later dispatched to anti-stock theft unit in Gilgil, something that insiders perceive as just a punishment. He was moved from Nairobi Metropolitan to anti-stock theft unit in Gilgil. But by then on 27th of May, Samidoh left the country to UK for performances in UK and America with full permission from his bosses, as has been the routine. I can't remember when last we actually saw Samidoh making performances, or maybe working as a police officer in Nairobi, or anti-riot, or doing something. I can't remember. He has been in the background, and he's been more visible as a musician than a police officer. So Samidoh's insiders are saying, Samidoh's handlers are saying, he left the country with full permission from his bosses and made performances in UK and US. But I know what is rattling the what is rattling the state is this photo of the cousins. Hi cousins. He took this photo and posted this photo yesterday. The high cousins issue is associated with Rigathi-Gachagua. So that is just confirming to the authorities that Samidoh is still aligned to Rigathi-Gachagua camp. And that is what is causing, that is why he is actually being made as a person of target. But it's a very bad strategy to try to use the forces to hit people. You can see him wearing those political outfits. Of course, it is not a secret that Samidoh is eyeing a general parliamentary seat on DCP party ticket that belongs to Rigathi-Gachagua. I think the best he can do is to resign. What is the objective of issuing the warrant of arrest? Of course, one thing I would want to know, kama mtu hajaripoti kazi na ni polisi, anafaa ashikwe ama afukuzwe tu kazi? The warrant of arrest is a bit loud. And that is just another incident to bring rage. I want you to imagine Samidoh arrested. And you know him, he has a support base just... His support base is not necessarily the hustlers. He has a very serious support base. So him, when this matter arising, him he is a bit more dangerous to handle than even the others. These are some of the hidden agendas in this. Number one, I think Samidoh is going for Old General MP seat on DCP party, and some people feel threatened. There are some other story that he was working on a song that would praise Rigathi-Gachagua and that Democracy for Citizens party. And that could have been one of the reasons why the state is feeling uncomfortable with Samidoh. But I still believe that's a wrong strategy. Yeah, because you cannot crush dissidents by intimidation. You cannot crush dissidents by threat. I want to believe the all of it is about doing the right thing. There is a message targeting those dissenting. And even within the police service, there are so many people that are still uncomfortable, that are also uncomfortable with the conduct or some few things that the government is doing. Someone wants to confine Samidoh, maybe not to come back, because after being threatened with an arrest, probably they know he's supposed to jet back in the country, and maybe he will be arrested at the airport. Would someone want to arrest Samidoh at the airport? And the arrest warrant is also targeting those who are not police elements who are involved in politics. And this reminds me of something that I think must be spoken at this position, at this juncture. I don't think crushing dissidents is going to tone down the masses, especially even in Mount Kenya. If someone is thinking that, okay, if I crush Samidoh, I will have managed, the voices of dissent in Mount Kenya were wrong. This dissent, I once analyzed it, that it is a multi-layered anger. There is one side, there is the other side, a cohort that are angered because Githae-Gaturura was impeached. And that side, they also have their reasons. In their own way, they are also right. Apart from that, there is also another side that if you check carefully, there is also another side that feel the economy is not working. And they're also hating because of economy. There are also people that look at human rights and say, the level of violation, our children that have died in the hands of the regime cannot go unpunished. Now, all those factors, you cannot address and zero in to an individual, to a musician. And I think it's high time that those who visit and get time to sit with the decision makers, the president, they must come out and show the people what do they come up with. What exactly is the significance? Otherwise, not so much is out to show for the state house visits. Thank you.